Tired of setting goals and not achieving them? The trick is to chip away at your goal in small incremental steps. In other words, when you know how to form a new habit, then you can turn success into a series of daily actions. This lecture can help you not only develop the routine of meditating, but it will also teach you how to create any habit that you desire. Researchers at MIT have taken the process of forming habits and turned it into a step-by-step process that you can immediately implement. How do you develop a habit? You develop a habit in 3 progressive steps. Number 1, a cue, which is the trigger that starts the habit in question. 2, a routine, which is the habit itself. And 3, a reward, which is the payoff you get from doing the habit. In this video, we will explore how to use this understanding toward developing the habit of meditation. Research has shown that willpower works like a muscle. This idea is known as ego depletion, and it explains that just like any other of the muscles in your body, your willpower gets increasingly tired the more you use it. You can think of your willpower like a cell phone battery that gets charged when you rest. When you wake up in the morning, your willpower battery will be fully charged. You get out of bed and you start your day, and as you go throughout your day, your battery will drop a little bit and a little bit and a little bit in terms of a charge with every decision that you make. Willpower isn't something that you either have or don't have. Rather, it's something that fluctuates throughout your day. Start your new habit of meditating so ridiculously small that when it's time to do it, it would be silly to say no. This strategy is very powerful because it ensures that your habit won't fail because of random fluctuations in your willpower. Have you ever thought the following things? I'm full, but I might as well keep eating because I've already paid for the food, or this movie's terrible, but I might as well keep watching because I've already been here for an hour, or this class is totally useless, but since I've already paid for it, I might as well keep going. This idea is based on something called a chain of events. You've committed, so you don't want to break the chain, and the longer that your chain gets, the harder it will be to skip a day, as you don't want to break the chain and lose your investment. So, to help make meditating a habit, create a chain building system. There are 2 ways that you can do this. You can go and get a physical wall calendar and hang it on your wall where you will see it often, and put a pen next to it, and then each time you meditate, you track your progress by putting a mark on the calendar. Or you can download a habit tracker if you prefer to work digitally. You can download many different types of habit building apps, and what they do is they measure your progress. So they measure your chain and they give you a reminder, oh, you've done this X number of times, you probably don't want to stop. So now we get to the first part of the actual habit loop, which is the trigger that will remind you to initiate the behavior. All you do is reframe your goals as if-then statements. So if represents a situational cue, and then is your planned response to that cue. Here are some examples. So for example, a daily journal. So you say, if I'm in bed at night, then I will write in my journal. In the case of meditation, if I walk past the area that I've designated to practice meditating, then I'll sit down and I'll start with the process of clearing my mind. Even if it's just for 30 seconds, you want to start that process, so you want to start building that chain. You can also tie a new habit to an old one through a process called habit stacking. And to do this, you basically create an after or before statement. So, I drink a cup of tea, I will practice meditating. So if you already have a habit, you just attach meditation to that habit. And for me, I'm a regular tea drinker, and it also enhances the benefit of meditating, so it works great. So now that you've decided on a trigger and a tiny habit that will follow it, it's time to get to work on the last part of the habit loop, which is the actual reward. In behavioral theory, reinforcement is the act of following a response with a reinforcer. This is one of the main tools in what psychologists refer to as operant conditioning. And it's what we will be using to automate the habit that you're trying to work on, so you can stick to it consistently. In the case of meditation, this is really, really simple. Meditation lowers your stress hormones and raises your sense of awareness. The habit of meditating will produce a reward on its own. So you don't have to add anything to it to make you want to do it again. It'll do it on its own. You can, however, reinforce this habit a little bit with some additional biochemistry. And again, you can use tea, as we've already discussed. So tea contains an amino acid called L-theanine, and L-theanine promotes alpha brainwaves, which are the brainwaves associated with a calm state of focus. So if you have a little bit of tea before you meditate, get the stress reduction, have a little bit more tea when you're done meditating, help you calm down and focus. It's great. The Hawthorn Effect is a term referring to the tendency of some people to work harder and perform better when they are participants in a group or an experiment. You can use this to your benefit when starting a new habit by just letting other people know what you're trying to accomplish. Don't go it alone. Make sure you have at least one other person who is continually following up on your progress and making sure that you're sticking to your plan. So in summary, we've got 5 steps. Step 1, just get started. Sit down and start meditating. Step 2, build a chain, one link at a time. Step 3, choose a trigger. If I walk past the area where I meditate, then I will sit down and I will start the process of meditation. Step 4, note the reward of your practice. So reinforce the idea that I'm really glad that I sat down and I did this because I feel so good. And then step 5, the Hawthorn Effect, get accountable.